Wie van, hè? Wielen moet ook. Ja, dat is. Dan moet nog... Niet maken. Sorry.
Nee, zeg. Ik zou u daar ook soms af en toe willen zien staan, hè?
Als je het ziet.
Minutes. Just guys in the call, can you hear me or not? Anyone in production, can you hear me or not? Someone please confirm. I have texted you as well. Oh, come on, don't sign out. Yeah, I mean, they're not saying anything, and I've texted the person, and I'm not getting a response. Oh, now they're typing. Apparently they can hear me, but they're just not talking to me, so it's fine. Ah, now I hear you. It's all good, Jan. Don't worry about it. Yeah, I can hear you guys. I've
Ik komt eraan, ja.
I'm prepared like never before, and I'm pretty sure that I deserve to be the champion this year.
I'm gonna be the champion because I think that I'm the best driver on the grid.
I won 6 races this year and I won the title again after 2021.
We have the best car, we have the best team, I have the best teammates. But you never know in EuroNASCAR, so we see on Sunday.
Because I have the best team, the best car, and the best driver.
They start from zero and they improve race by race, and it's correct to arrive to the final.
We work very well with PK Car Sport, 6 poles out of 6 wins. Let's finish the job and take the title. Let's do it, guys.
I have what it takes to be the champion. Do you?
I'm gonna be the champion because I'm gonna win.
Because I want a title again.
I can assure you, I will win the championship. I have the best team.
I never give up.
Let's see who will be the champion.
Welcome along to the circuit Zolder. It's the penultimate day of the 2024 NASCAR Whelen Euro Series. We are in playoff season. There's already been a fair share of drama this playoff season, and here at Zolder, it is going to reach a fever pitch as both championships and indeed the subclasses are decided. We've already got one champion for this season here at Zolder, Federico Monti, winning the Club Challenge regularity format on Friday. But now we get into EuroNASCAR Pro, the drivers on the grid at present, as are many, many fans soaking in the atmosphere of the NASCAR GP Belgium, a popular fixture here at the Zolder circuit. It has been our season finale on 7 occasions, and it is always very exciting racing. We've seen plenty of highs and lows at this circuit, and this day will be a very compelling one indeed for our championship leader, that of course being Vittorio Gorelli. Meanwhile, somewhere down there in that scrum, Andre Viegold awaits.
Vittorio, we consider you the Iceman, the cool guy on the grid. Almost no emotions, always very analytical, but now it's a title on the line. How do you feel?
Yeah, obviously we want to finish the job, you know, so we're a bit of tension, but we will transform it in focus and concentration to get it. We will do our best. We did a fantastic job until now, and it's a little step more. So we'll really give 110%.
What about qualifying? The car was good for one lap. Race pace is a different thing. Also tire management. How important will it be?
Yeah, the race is long. It's 17 laps, actually 18 laps. So yeah, tire management will be important. We just focus on a good start, and then we have the pace. So we keep the rhythm and then see how it goes.
All right, thank you so much. I'm going to ask Anthony for his strategy against you because it's PK in first row. I'll let you know if it's an interesting answer or not. Back to you, Adam.
Good point, Andre. It is an all PK car sport front row of the grid, making his first appearance in the NASCAR Whelen Euro Series since last year's decider is Anthony Kumpen. So the Belgian fans will have a lot to look forward to with their team and one of their local heroes at the front of the field. Of course, Gorelli is our championship leader as well. So Vittorio Gorelli looking to try and further his championship lead today. Let's go back down there, though, with Andre.
I think we're good to go. It's a PK car sport front row. You're a non-championship driver. You're not stealing any points from Gorelli. That's a fact. But how hard will you attack to get a home win?
You race to win, huh? That's the goal of racing. And but obviously, with your teammates, you are more safe. And I don't want to interfere with the championship. So I race to win, but I will be a bit cautious with the drivers who want to win the championship.
What about the pace? After 1 year, you jumped into a car, almost zero preparation. It seemed like it was yesterday you were in the car.
Yeah, I was surprised myself. We really had zero preparation. We wanted to do a test, which didn't go through because the weather was changing a lot and we had an oil leak in the engine. So I didn't have a test, and then I come here and I'm front row. I even could have gotten the pole if I didn't mess up the last sector. So I was surprised myself, but that means our team is doing an amazing job. It's teamwork and it's not my work.
One last question about the event. It's your home race. We even have people here holding the fans back when we're doing an interview. A lot of people here in the grid walk. How does it feel to have NASCAR in Belgium?
Yeah, it's a fantastic event, and you know, in Belgium it has always been popular since we came here. I remember that Jeff Gordon was here with me, and he was the Grand Marshal. So yeah, it's an amazing event. NASCAR is growing in Europe, and I think it's becoming one of the biggest series in Europe, and that's what we want to do. We want to make a good show for the fans. The fans are allowed on the grid, so it's an amazing fan event, and it's amazing to be part of it.
Fun fact, I was a big fan, or I am a big fan of Jeff Gordon. When I was growing up, I was always cheering for the 24 for Jeff Gordon, and to meet him here was a dream come true. Thank you for that.
Yeah, it was really nice that he wanted to do it. I asked him. His wife is actually from almost 10 kilometers from here, so it was amazing also for the EuroNASCAR teams and for the EuroNASCAR crowd to have him here. So it shows that NASCAR drivers are all about the fans.
Thank you so much. Dankjewel, Anthony Kumpen. Back to you, Adam.
Thank you very much, Andre. Great to have Anthony Kumpen back on the grid. He's raced so many different cars here over the years, be they GT1 Corvettes, the Audi GT2 car the team still operates to this day. All sorts of different machinery in his repertoire at this circuit, Zolder, but he is a master peddling the rather raw manual nature of the EuroNASCAR stock car around this circuit, and it is the two PK car sport Chevrolet Camaros at the front of the field. And we'll go back down now to Andre.
Thank you so much, Adam. Paul Geoffroy next to me, a championship contender. Yesterday we published a video, a trailer for the championship, and you said, I have the best team, the best car, and I'm the best driver, and you want to win the championship. How are your emotions right now before the first playoff race here?
I will fight. I will go 100%. And yeah, there is in the EuroNASCAR history there wasn't any finals that went like it was a story without trouble. So we will have to be there. There is no. I don't think we can be first with the pace, but I think that with all it can happen, we will be the first car there. So yeah, for sure, Kumpen and Girelli are pretty fast. Yeah, they put to the other driver, so that's pretty huge. So we cannot expect to be faster than them, but we can expect some race events. Yeah, so I will be there, and for sure. I will not have to. I have to finish the races without any trouble now.
All right, thank you so much. A lot of support for Paul Geoffroy here. Back to you, Adam.
He's brought the fan club. Amazing stuff. Paul Geoffroy on the road to the grid. Of course, currently leading in the junior trophy standings at the moment. Just a couple of points clear of Liam Hasemans. He's also third in the overall standings, still very much a contender in the championship. He'll be lining up on that second row of the grid alongside Gianmarco Ercoli, the reigning defending champion, of course, the driver that won the title here 12 months ago. He'll be looking to replicate that feat this weekend in this race, doing so from fourth on the grid, the outside of row number 2. He'll be looking for a clear run through those first few corners. It's quite easy to get squeezed out, though, going through turn 1. A little bit of runoff available beyond the curb, but also a gravel trap that certainly beckons. And, of course, that's the first real pinch point on the lap that we're looking at the moment. The first chicane really is kind of where it starts to shuffle into single file, but it doesn't always work out perfectly for sure after those first few corners. Another driver with a lot of home fans watching is Mark Goossens, and he is with Andre.
Yes, another local hero right here with me. Thank you, Adam. Mark Goossens, You know this track. I think when I wake you in the middle of the night and ask you how to approach turn 12, you know exactly what to do, right?
I hope so. After all the years, yes, I guess so. But as you can see, the other guys have been here many times as well. So I don't know how many years NASCAR has been coming here, but it's good to be back here in Zolder for the finals. It's a little bit too cold in my opinion, but we cannot change that, can we? So we have to deal with it.
The conditions, it's an interesting point. Girelli said it was really cold in qualifying, the conditions were tricky, but explain people who are not racing cars, what does it mean when you have a cold track like that?
Well, it's just harder to get some heat into the tires to work the car better. I think there was a difference yesterday in the afternoon in free practice. We had 24 degrees on the actual asphalt, and there was only 13 degrees Celsius this morning. So that's a big change, and it takes a number of laps more to get into a rhythm, to get a better feel of the car, to make it steer better. So, but you know, it's the same for everybody. So I guess we cannot complain being on the front two rows here. So all good.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you well, Mark Goossens. Back to you, Adam.
Great to hear from the Goose, who's won a race here before in the NASCAR Whelen Euro Series at Zolder. He and Team Blake & Molen have had some great highs this year, particularly at the round at Most, where Team Blake & Molen's cars always seem to do very well, albeit, of course, Sebastian Blake & Molen had a big crash at Most, and it was great to see that he was okay, and it was also great to see him back in the car at Oschersleben after what was a rather spectacular impact in the Czech Republic. He is lining up alongside Goossens, so it's an all-team Blake & Molen row 3 of the grid, so the 69 and 72 cars sharing the space, and we'll see which of those two very experienced drivers from the Benelux region leads the early going. Let's go back down to Andre for another chat.
Gianmarco Ercoli, the reigning champion. You won your first race of the season in Oschersleben. The momentum is coming. You are getting better and better. Yesterday in the video we created, you said, "I never give up. I will be the champion." How do you feel now?
So the feel is good. In the Super Pole qualifying I was too fast, but the fuel finish, and I can try to take the first row. For me it was important stay near the first and battle for the pole. But this morning the lucky don't stay to my part. Don't worry, I start P5. I have all the possibility to stay near the group and fight for the victory.
Last year it was a last-minute decision between you and Luca Lasser. You were waiting in victory lane to be confirmed as the champion because every single point, even the bonus points and the penalty, in the end decided it. So you know that events at the finals can change everything. So are you ready to take advantage if something is happening, right?
Yeah, with the double points, all lap can change all. So it's important stay always to the top and try to force, never give up. I stay here and I try to the checker flag to stay in race for the victory.
All right, grazie mille, a dopo, see you later. Gianmarco Ercoli, and now back to you, Adam.
Thank you very much, Andre. Great to hear from Gianmarco Ercoli. He is our reigning champion. He and Cal Racing finally got their first victory a matter of weeks ago at Oschersleben as we came into double points. So they waited for the perfect moment to start scoring race victories in the 2024 season. That really brought him back into the title picture, especially because Vittorio Girelli had a poor race. You see there the playoff format. So 80 points for a race win in playoff season. That means double points. As you can see, it goes down in increments of 2 from 70 for second place, 68 for third, etc., etc. So just about everybody will score so long as they get through the first few corners of the race. But it is important and indeed a big change if we have a new winner this weekend. We go back down now to the grid.
All right, Liam.
Yes.
We're good to go. No, normally I love to fool around a little bit with you because you have a great humor.
Always.
But this weekend it may be something different because you're still a title contender. Yesterday you said, I want to be the champion. I will become the champion. How's it going so far?
Yeah, it's going much tougher than expected because, well, the car just doesn't go as usual. We make big changes on the car, and now finally I hope we found it. It was something with the differential normally, but yeah, we will try to maximize it. I mean, starting 7th. But hey, it's EuroNASCAR, so you never know what's happened until you cross the finish line. You can start from last, and we saw that in the past some people also can win the race even from starting last, so you never know what can happen. And actually all the championship contenders are quite close to each other, with Girelli in first position, Jufro not so far, and Hercule as well. So yeah, we just maximize it and we see how it goes at the end of the race.
In your career, you already won a title, the EuroNASCAR 2 title. It was a tight battle there. You have been in this situation. Now again, how does it feel? How is it emotionally?
You know, emotionally it's funny, but most of the people, they always ask, yeah, are you stressed or whatsoever? But yes, you always have a bit of stress, but it's good stress, you know? And actually you just try to, yeah, do what you do every time, you know? When you step in the car, you just focus on the front, you try to be the fastest out there, and you just try to maximize what you have, you know? I think it's, most of the people have stress before stepping into the car, but when you are in the car, you you close the visor and everything turns, you know, dark, let's say. You just go full throttle to the front, so that should be fine.
All right, dankjewel. Thank you so much. Good luck, have fun. Back to you, Adam.
Always great to hear from Liam Hasemans. As we said, still very much a contender in the overall championship, also in the junior trophy as well. This is a circuit he holds dear. This is where his path to the 2022 EuroNASCAR 2 title really kicked off. He won all 4 of the final races of the year in the 2022 season, of course, ended in Croatia. I understand we go back down now, and I think Tobias Dauenhauer was waiting for a chat with Andre.
Yes, I have 2 topics with Tobias Dauenhauer. First of all, last year rain, a record-breaking margin on 2nd place, but today it's dry but cold, different conditions. Do you think you can repeat what you did last year?
I think it will be difficult, for sure. I like rainy conditions. Last year was unforgettable for me, amazing race. Good memories on this track, but yeah, try to keep our best starting from the 8th place. So a lot of cars in front of me, but hopefully we can show a good pace and a good show for all these fans here.
You had a little bit of a scary moment in free practice. Your car ignited, there were flames in the cockpit, but safety is high in those cars, and also, of course, you have these fireproof suits, so everything's fine on your side?
Yeah, I'm fine, I'm good. It was, yeah, pity for us yesterday. Our car got flames, so a little bit here on the overall you can see, but I'm fine, so all good. The cars are really safe this time, so yeah, looking forward to the race.
How fast can you leave a car in an emergency?
Maybe 4 or 5 seconds.
That's good, all right. So, good luck, have fun, Dankeschön. Back to you, Adam.
That's the only thing holding me back from being a race driver, Andre. I couldn't get out through the window that quickly. Great to see Tobias Dauenhauer in good spirits. He did have a bit of a moment, as we alluded to there yesterday, but he's all good. He's ready to go. He starts on row 4 of the grid. He will be alongside Vladimir Siortsis, whose car was smoking a lot during quali. Let's hope that's not the case in the race. Down to Andre again.
I'm here with Reza Sadea. You have a new teammate this weekend. You're racing in EuroNASCAR 2, yes, but in EuroNASCAR Pro, it's going to be Ryan Vargas, a NASCAR Xfinity and Truck Series driver. How proud are you to team up with him?
Very, because from the start of the season, my goal was to, you know, team up with a pro, because I'm a rookie and a pro can set the car much better, and I will profit a lot and gain much more experience by having someone like Ryan in the car. So it was hard, but being able to get him, you know, in my car for this one already bear its fruits. We did have some issues in the quali, unfortunately. So, but you know, it's like a dream come true, and it's super fun to see him drive the car. Oh man, yeah, Ryan knows how to drive, so it's amazing. Yeah.
All right, thank you so much. Good luck later in EuroNASCAR 2. We have to evacuate the grid right now, so back to you, Adam. We have national anthems coming up. The driver, start your engines, and I will join you as soon as possible in the commentary booth.
There you go. Always on the run is Andre Viegold. great to hear from Reza Sardeha as well. Of course, running his number 11 car, the homage to the Shelby GT350, the livery on that car. And now his anyone.com backing is matched by Ryan Vargas's critical path security backing on the 11 team Blake Molen car. That car will be starting from 13th in the race that's about to begin, in the hands of Ryan Vargas. So then the fans, along with Andre and the media crews, will begin the process of evacuating that grid. We will soon as well hear the national anthems as well. National anthems set for about 3 minutes' time. It will be the Belgian and the United States national anthem. As you can see, fans are now starting to position themselves in their viewing location of choice after getting up close and personal with the stars and the cars of the NASCAR Whelen Euro Series. There'll be a unique opportunity for them in EuroNASCAR 2 later on, because one of the drivers, Claudio Remeggio Capelli, has taken to a habit of getting everyone to sign the car. And it's a habit that gained him a race victory in Oschersleben. So I'm sure he'll have the marker pens out and will be asking for signatures. If you want my autograph, give me yours, is Claudio's approach to the grid walk. So then Vittorio Garelli, our championship leader, starts on pole position. So that is going to be a tall order for everybody else, and especially because he was 8/10 quicker than the next closest championship contender, almost 9/10 quicker, in fact, than Paul Giuffreau in qualifying. Of course, Anthony Kumpen, he's a non-scorer today, so even if he wins across the line, the car behind him will be the one that claims the winning points. However, that is a critical thing to note, that Garelli was that much quicker in qualifying. Now, we've said this before. We've had been in awe of his qualifying performance, and then he has been challenged in the race. Often he still wins. Garelli has had a great season, but it seems that that quali pace doesn't guarantee an easy drive to the checkered flag at times for Vittorio Garelli. So Giuffreau, Ercole, Goossens, Blake Molen, they'll all be up there trying to challenge Vittorio Garelli and indeed Anthony Kumpen. And then, of course, you have Liam Hasemans coming from 9th position, the rear gunner among the championship contenders. As he said, they've been having some issues. He seemed to think it was the differential that was causing a little bit of drama. They look to have rectified that, though. We'll see if he can climb through during the race. So then, it's time for the Belgian and the US national anthems. So then we are less than 7 minutes away from these motors firing into life. It'll be over 10,000 brake horsepower firing into life, all in unison. And we will then very soon be on the formation lap for the NASCAR Whelen Euro Series, the EuroNASCAR Pro penultimate race of the season. Double points on the line. And it'll be the man with the red banner above his window that everybody is going to be keeping an eye on. The man just suiting up to the right of your picture there. Final preparations ongoing. Vittorio Girelli getting himself into the zone. As the festivities continue, the pre-race action continues. The drivers are now trying to enter their fugue state, trying to get into that racing red zone. Who will get the best start? Will Paul Giffreau be able to get a good getaway? He's made a few very good starts this season. Gianmarco Ercoli, now an experienced hand, of course, when he won his EuroNASCAR 2 title here back in 2015. Gianmarco Ercoli was the up-and-comer. He's now a veteran of this series. But it's going to take a superlative performance today for him to find a way to gain ground over Vittorio Girelli. Girelli's pace this morning certainly marks him as the one to beat. But Ercoli may well be able to find a way in the race. Realistically, for the hopes of those behind, Girelli needs to have a race that he doesn't win. And a points extension of 10 or more to Girelli's lead will make him very close to insurmountable in the championship. So for Ercoli, for Hazemans, for Giuffreau, the modus operandi is quite simple. Get ahead of the 24. But the 24 has that car on screen at the moment, the 66, as a little bit of company. The number 66 car, Anthony Kumpen. I understand that Andre is back with me at the moment. And good job, good PB time there, going back to the commentary box, Andre. Now, Anthony Kumpen has talked a big game about going for race wins on home turf, but I mean, even though he's not a point scorer, surely he's more useful to the team as a rear gunner. I get he's got competitive spirit, but something tells me that in the heat of the moment, he's going to be the team boss, not the race winner. He's going to try and help Vittorio more so than claim a win here today.
I think it depends on what happens in turn one. If he's taking over the lead, he's going to try everything to win the race. If he's in second and he sees Vittorio Girelli in front of him, I bet he's trying to defend his championship contender. That's at least what I think is going to happen. We know that Anthony Kumpen is really competitive, and in the past, when he had teammates, he didn't really care. He was doing his own race. He tried everything he could to win races. So I think it depends on what happens in turn one. If he takes over the lead, he's going to race for the win. If he's second, he's going to defend Vittorio Girelli. That's my prediction. I may be wrong, but that's just my feeling down there. You can really feel the tension, by the way, down there on the grid when you talk to the people. Normally, they smile a little bit more. They fool a little bit more around, but everybody is so focused, so concentrated at the moment. And what I hear from Gianluca Guiglia, our PR manager, there are some raindrops at the moment. So this may play also a factor in this EuroNASCAR Pro race. It doesn't seem like heavy rain, but there are at least some raindrops at the moment.
And of course, I mean, Jan is a very well slipstreamed man. He'll be the first to know if there's rain falling on his head. So we have to take that very literally. Raindrops are falling on the circuit. Everyone's going to be on the slick tyres, so they're going to be hoping that that doesn't get any worse, with the potential exception of Tobias Downhauer. Based on what happened last year, row 4 of the grid, he's going to be rubbing his hands fast enough to start a fire. at the potential of another slippery race here at Zolder because it served him so well yesterday. I think Liam Hasemans is going to have an interesting race here. He's become so much more measured since he debuted in the series in 2022. He's always been one to get involved in the fight. I think that Valencia 2023, where he made a couple of over-ambitious moves fighting Gianmarco Ercoli, I think that was the turning point for him. He's like, okay, no, I need to score points sometimes more than just go for the win. But today, from 9th on the grid, he needs to make up some ground.
Yeah, definitely. He matured a lot in those years when he started to racing. He was a little bit too aggressive, and now he has the big picture in mind. But I totally agree. This time he needs to bring back the old Liam Hasemans and being over aggressive, maybe to make a move. It may be his last chance. Today is the foundation for tomorrow. It depends on what Ghirelli is doing, what Geoffroy is doing, but Hasemans has also the junior trophy in mind against Paul Geoffroy, so he's racing for 2 titles here. And if you cannot get the big trophy, at least get the junior trophy. That's really prestigious when you see who won it in the past. So Hasemans has a lot on his mind.
Start your engine!
Spirited there from Nathan Stewart. Whelen guest there giving the command. That was full gusto, a solid 9.5, I would say, at the very least. The excitement is in the air, the tension is in the air, as you said, Andre. We're now getting a look at the grid. So it is Vittorio Ghirelli on pole position with Anthony Kumpen. Then row 2 is Paul Geoffroy and Mark Goossens. Row 3 of the grid is, this isn't quite right, is it? It's Geoffroy and Ercoli on row 2, then Goossens and Blakemolen on row 3 of the grid. So do some switching in your about there. Hasemans is on row 5. So again, Downhauer is going to be alongside Siortzis on row 4. Hasemans and Armetta on row 5. Then it's Lasser and Dubek on row 6 of the grid, a very experienced 6th row. Ryan Vargas lines up 13th. He's alongside Liam Lambert. And it's Max Lanza, who is actually joined by Frederic Gabillon on row 8. But he's effectively an invisible car. Julian Reberg 17th. Victor Neumann 18th. Chrysonis 19th. Kenko Mura in P20. Then it's Strickler, Delso, and Dario Casso, bringing us down to 23rd. In fact, Gabillon starting from the rear of the field, of course, so he's been dropped to the back. And it's good to see as well that Thomas Duffel is at the back of the field too. So that's good news, because Thomas didn't get to take part at all this morning. They'd been having engine issues, hadn't they, on Friday? He's going to have a hard day, particularly in EuroNASCAR 2, where, of course, he's still a factor well within the top 10 in the championship standings. But at least good to see that Race Art Technology have found a way to get the car on the grid.
Yeah, definitely. I asked them, they said engine troubles, but they were working really hard now between qualifying and the first race to make the car ready, and he joined the grid. So Thomas Toffel has a lot of overtakes to do if he wants to get into the top 15, let's say. That's maybe realistic for Thomas Toffel. And remember in Italy when he pulled one of the most exciting overtaking maneuvers of the season, so he's able to make up ground. So I think Thomas Toffel will not give up. He just needs to make sure that the engine is running fine, and if the car is good, I think he has the potential to move up and gain some ground in this race. We're getting ready. Adam, to be honest, I tried to sit down in my chair here, but no chance. I'm standing already, waiting for the cars to come to the start-finish straight and start this EuroNASCAR Finals 2024. I cannot sit anymore. It's so exciting. I'm really looking forward to this title decision because we had so many great races so far this season. A tight battle. We had drama. We had fights. We had discussions. We have rivalries. We have everything. What makes motorsports so great, so exciting. So yeah, I cannot sit anymore. I'm so hyped for this race.
Excellent stuff. My apologies, by the way, because I was looking at the qualifying result, which didn't take in Superpole. So the start grid that you saw on screen was correct, but my data in front of me was not. So then, Andre is standing. If I stand, I would need to drill through a wall, so I'm going to remain seated, but I'm going to be on the very edge of it, as all of these drivers, as everyone in the garage will be, because this is a pivotal day in the 2024 EuroNASCAR season. Realistically, in EuroNASCAR Pro, if Girelli wins, that puts him with a hand and at least a couple of fingers on the title. But if one of the other title contenders, Dufro, Urkely, Hazemans, can make it a win today, then that makes Sunday an extremely tense day for Girelli, who had a promising title campaign slip through his fingers last year here at Zolder. It is an all PK car sport, front row of the grid as we're underway and racing in the EuroNASCAR Pro Division. It's a very good start from Mark Goossens. He's on the inside of Girelli, but it's Girelli that leads the way there. Really late, really decisive on cold brakes there from Girelli, and we've had a spin further back. We've had a big spill further back. You've got Nick Strickler there going rally crossing. We've got Vladimir Osiortsis, by the looks of it, struggling to get the car back underway, but everybody is still moving. It's Anthony Kumpen then in second position, and already Girelli has a couple of car lengths clear, and then he's got Kumpen behind, staving off the likes of Gianmarco Urkely and Paul Dufro. Urkely there looked like he didn't have great momentum on the straight. I think he lost out there to Goossens. Maybe he missed a gear. Downhauer up to 6th position. He's made up some places. Hazemans has dropped through the order. He may have had to take evasive action in all of that first corner shenanigan. And he had to cut across the chicane there as well. So Hazemans not having the start he would want. But for Girelli's interest, that has gone about as well as it could.
Yeah, it was a great start for Girelli, and now he has Kumpen in second place, defending these 1-2 positions for PK Carsport, but Dufro in third position. He's already trying to dive to the inside of Kumpen, but Kumpen can defend. He's really on his edge right now. Anthony Kumpen trying everything to keep Vittorio Girelli in first place, and Dufro, he's trying everything to go around the two-time champion. The next attack, it's Dufro in the 3 car, and now he may pass. Got past here. He is in second. He's in second, and Anthony Kumpen is out. Where is Anthony Kumpen?
Kumpen is down in about 7th place. In fact, he's just been out-dragged by the team Bleekemolen car. Sebastian Bleekemolen, 8th position for Anthony Kumpen. Didn't quite see how that's happened, but Kumpen is well down the order. Dufro then up to 2nd place. The dam has broken on just the first lap of the race. PK Carsport had themselves a very capable rear gunner, but he has been shot down himself. Paul Dufro then to 2nd place. Then it's Goossens. Then it's Urkely. Downhauer with a very good first couple of laps. He is in 5th position. Thomas Tuffel unfortunately didn't take the start, so his issues continue into the race. They now will have to shift focus to trying to get that car ready for EuroNASCAR 2. Of course, he was the Challenger Trophy leader coming into today, so this is big for the EuroNASCAR Pro Division as well as his overall aspirations in EuroNASCAR 2. Thomas Tuffel having a rough time of it. Everybody making their way then through the first few corners. I'm just wondering if Kumpen maybe got caught out by these drops of rain that we're hearing, the potential for precipitation around the circuit Zolder. Maybe that's what did it. We'll keep an eye on his progress from here, but Kumpen is down the order. Girelli, though, with a 1.9 second lead across the line. We've got some damage there, well, some bodywork down there at the Villeneuve chicane. Couldn't quite figure out who that was from on that shot, but there's been a little bit of contact further down the field. Girelli, though, I was going to say extending his advantage, but actually across the line he's lost 6/10 on that lap. The last 2 sectors from Dufro were very quick, and now he's homing in on Girelli.
Yes, and he clocked the fastest lap so far in this race. Paul Dufro on the hunt. He's trying to hunt down Vittorio Girelli. It may be one of those battles we're gonna see tomorrow also, and we have a false start for the 66. Anthony Kumpen, 10-second penalty, so the 66 of the local hero will drop down the order furthermore. And here we have Liam Lambert, and behind him Liam Hasemans, who lost some positions. He also missed the exit of the first chicane on the first lap and lost some ground, but Hasemans trying here to attack Liam Lambert, but it was not possible for Hasemans to make up one more position. So right now, Adam, I think Girelli and Giuffreau, this is the battle we have to take an eye on, and then we have to see what Gianmarco Ercoli is capable of doing. He's still on the back bumper of Mark Goosens, and he's the closest rival of Vittorio Girelli in the overall standings. But when I see the picture right now, Girelli and Giuffreau, these are the two guys we have to keep an eye on, because Giuffreau is trying to closing in on Girelli, and he has a really, really fast RDV competition car here in his hands.
And he's been quicker across the first two sectors of the lap. The gap that was 1.3 seconds, I think, is going to be quite possibly under a second this time across the line. Goosens and Ercoli also not far behind. Here they come across the line then to begin another lap of the race, and it is a almost exactly 1 second gap, 1.003. Giuffreau is slowly but surely homing in on Vittorio Girelli. Now, it's no secret that tensions have boiled over between them a couple of times this year. We've heard a few scathing comments in post-race interviews and things of that nature. These two, especially on this pivotal weekend, if they get together on the circuit, it's going to be no holds barred. Of course, there are rules that they have to adhere to, and they'll be punished if they do not. But neither party is going to be, shall we say, the most gentlemanly individual with a championship on the line. They will hopefully race each other fair, but you can be sure they're going to race each other hard.
Yeah, everything's on the line right now. Take a look what's going on. So Girelli, Giuffreau closing in, then Ercoli trying everything to hunt down Goosens, but Goosens, with all the experience he has at this track at the moment, keeping Ercoli at bay. Dauenhauer, he confirms a little bit the form he had last year at Circuit Zolder. This track seems to fit to the 99 Brimotion car. Ameta fast as well. Then we have Sebastian Blekemolen ahead of Kumpen with a penalty, Lambert and Hasemans. And when we look at the Junior Trophy, Giuffreau leading there by a lot of places ahead of Hasemans. That's also interesting in this battle for the Junior Trophy. That's for drivers age 25 and under in EuroNASCAR Pro. And we have also the Challenger Trophy, and Max Lanza is there in a really good position in 17th overall at the moment.
Very interesting situation that we have then at the moment. Certainly for Liam Hasemans, this isn't going to plan. He has moved up to P9 on the previous lap, so he has gotten past Liam Lambert. Lambert has fallen behind Martin Dubeck as well, who is up into the top 10. So there has been some surge forward there for Hasemans, but he's still having to work his way back up to the position in which he started the race, and his next target is Anthony Kumpen. And again, Kumpen is a hard-charging driver. He knows Liam Hasemans very well indeed, but that is going to be a tough driver for Hasemans to get past for 8th position. The top four within 2 seconds now on the circuit. The gap last time across the start-finish line, 0.743, a quarter of a second between Girelli and Giuffreau as the lead battle gets ever closer. Girelli and Giuffreau potentially going to come to blows here in this one. Gianmarco Ercoli behind the local hero Mark Goosens, who's not in it for championship glory, but he definitely wants victory lane back here at Zolder. He's experienced it once before. Ryan Vargas there diving to the inside of Liam Lambert. That was for 11th place. Road course driver indeed, Ryan Vargas. Nice move there into that corner, and he will, I think, retain 11th place across the line. The top four still exceedingly close. The gap actually going up slightly in Girelli's favour across the top two on that particular lap. Let's see, though, what Ercoli is doing, because he's been right on the back of the 72 car, Mark Goosens, for the last couple of laps, and the Cal Racing driver knows. Again, as I said, I think anyone who finishes behind Girelli today is at the very least an outside shot at the championship on Sunday.
Yeah, definitely. And remember, Paul Giuffre not really happy about Ghirelli's driving style in Oschersleben, and he said he has always something to complain about. This rivalry culminates right now here in this final, and Giuffre was the fastest for 4 laps, but now Ghirelli gets a little bit into the rhythm and he keeps Giuffre at bay. But I think when Giuffre sees the 24 in front of him and he has a little bit of anger inside of him, he's trying to squeeze even a little bit more out of his car to beat Vittorio Ghirelli, because it's not only about the championship. I think Giuffre not happy with Ghirelli, he just wants to prove a point that he's faster than the 24. So I expect Giuffre to be more than just at the limit. I think he would be going over the limit to beat Ghirelli in this race. But at the moment, I think the momentum switched a little bit in favor of Vittorio Ghirelli, because when I look at the gap right now, I think Ghirelli is a little bit faster right now.
Certainly, gap's gone up by another half a second as Ercole goes to the inside at turn 1. Can't quite get it done there, was really fighting the car under braking. Every correction you have to make under braking just takes some of that deceleration away from you. And Ercole couldn't quite make it into 3rd position on that occasion, but a statement of intent from Gianmarco Ercole there to try and get past Mark Goossens. Ghirelli 1.3 seconds now clear of Paul Giuffre, so all of that lead that Paul Giuffre burnt away is now going back up. I just wonder if maybe he took too much out of the tyres too early in the race. If you ask too much of them early on, they will start to fade faster, particularly at the rear, where it is absolutely traction critical, especially at a circuit like this where you have chicanes such as the Villeneuve chicane they're currently going through, absolutely traction critical. And that's also why we heard Liam Hazeman's talking about his issues with the differential earlier in the weekend. The differential absolutely key around this circuit, so that would have been very difficult for him to manage if he was having issues with the differential settings in the earlier stages of the weekend. Gianmarco Ercole, we saw there very close still to the back of Goossens. He's already had one attempt at getting by on this lap. Equally, Tobias Downhauer is under pressure from Fabrizio Armetta, who's having another stellar run in 6th position ahead of Sebastian Blekemolen, Anthony Kumpen and Liam Hazeman. Martin Dubek rounding out the top 10 in the field. The gap down again. Paul Giuffre, the momentum swinging back to the Frenchman. Back under a second, the gap, 0.970. Meanwhile, Gianmarco Ercole has been a lot closer to the rear of Goossens this entire time. But it does take getting out of bed exceedingly early to outrace Mark Goossens. He's played many a chess match on all corners of the earth at the wheel of high-powered racing cars. He is always a tough cookie.
Yes, and remember what Goossens said in the interview about the conditions. It takes a little bit of time to get the heat into the tires, and then it's also depending on the tire pressures. Maybe Ghirelli had a little bit of lower tire pressure in the beginning of the race, so he needed a little bit more time to get the heat into the tires. It's just an idea, theory from my side. And now the tires are getting warmer and warmer and into the window they need to be fast on that track. Of course, Giuffre at the same level like Ghirelli what the lap times are at the moment, but I think when you see it right now, maybe a difference in tire pressures or in getting the tires into the right window with these cold temperatures here at Circuit Zolder. And I'm just referring to the experience of Mark Goossens. I have no clue about this stuff, to be honest. And Tobias Downhauer off the track. This is so unfortunate for the German team Brimotion and Tobias Downhauer. They are so quick. They have the pace to keep up with the top 5. But this year, hampered by technical issues, this is not what they deserve. They work so hard, but and again, a technical issue, I assume, that forces Tobias Downhauer to retire early.
That is a huge shame for Tobias Downhauer. He is sidelined, then that puts Liam Hazeman's up to 8th place where he started. Effectively, he's almost back to where he started, and then also Ryan Vargas into the top 10. Everyone moving up a position. Luca Lasser as well, who's not having a good race at all, down in 13th place now. He moves up a position by virtue of Dowenhauer's issues, but indeed, to add to what Andre was saying there, absolutely gutting for the promotion team. We know how quick that car can be around Zolder. We know how quick Dowenhauer can be around Zolder, but they're going to have to wait until Sunday to show they're working on that front. Now, Dowenhauer's lap time, 1:39.2. That's not bad. He should still be in the top 10. Remember, fastest laps of this race will determine the grid for Sunday, so he should start well within the top 10. He'll be looking for some retribution come Sunday. Gianmarco Ercoli still pressuring Mark Goossens. Last time by in the battle for the lead, though, it was again in favour of Vittorio Garelli. 1.8 seconds last time across the line, practically 1.9 seconds. Garelli, though, has been slower in the last two sectors than Paul Dufresne. Dufresne 1.8, so it's gone down again just a little bit, but it feels as though Garelli is in control. He does drop occasionally, but then he just finds a lap that's half a second quicker and extends the gap out again. Maybe he's just managing this race. It's obviously hard to know exactly what they're doing at the wheel of these cars, but as we see Hazeman by Martin Dubeck, Garelli is just maintaining the lead that he needs. Not much more than the lead that he needs, but he's doing enough.
I'm taking a look right now at the different classes, at the trophies. Paul Dufresne leading the junior trophy ahead of Liam Hazemans. In third, we have Ryan Vargas ahead of Julian Rehberg and Victor Neumann, but there may be something coming in the Challenger Trophy, because Liam Lambert, he's losing speed constantly here at the moment. He already got passed by Kenko Miura, and he's now the Japanese driver, the new leader in the Challenger Trophy, in 16th overall. Lambert in 17th, second in the Challenger Trophy for elite amateur drivers in EuroNASCAR Pro. Third is Dario Calzo ahead of Max Lanza. So there was a change, the lead change in the Challenger Trophy, because Liam Lambert is losing pace, so there may be a technical issue on the 21 Lux Motorsport Chevy, because he was keeping up with the top 10 in the beginning at the beginning of the race, and right now he's losing ground more and more and more. So Kenko Miura at the moment the leader in the Challenger Trophy, and Paul Dufresne still leads the Junior Trophy. And Adam, now we go back to the championship battle.
Yeah, absolutely. Just in reference to the Challenger Trophy as well, Lanza falling back through the field. It's weird, Lambert and Lanza both very slow around the circuit. I do wonder if that bit of black bodywork we saw might have been off of Lanza's car. That would fit his livery. Anthony Kumpen is coming into the pit lane. Anthony Kumpen is in the pits. He's peeled off the circuit. The 66 car seems to have a problem. Anthony Kumpen comes into the pit lane. That is a big story for sure. Kumpen, who started on the front row looking for hometown glory, or at the very least to back up his driver out on the circuit. He is not going to play any further part in this race by the looks of it, or if he does, he's going to be away off the rest of the field. Gap has shrunk again between Dufresne and Garelli. It was 1.4 at the line. Just seeing them there through the Villeneuve chicane, I think it shrunk a little bit more than that since then. Could well be around that low 1 second region once again this time by, as we get a look at Kumpen, and they're just adjusting the tyre pressures there, doing a little bit of what looks like rudimentary work, but they're also reaching in through the passenger side window, so I just wonder whether there's something amiss. There'll be some electronics and things of that nature in that part of the car. We'll have to wait and see. The top two come through the final sequence of corners. Now, I think Dufresne's lost out a little bit there through the back half of the circuit. But let's see what the net result is of that lap. It's still 1.4 seconds. Dufresne gains fractionally. But I think this is a very frustrating race for Paul, because occasionally it looks like he's got the pace, but he's never close enough to try and challenge.
Yeah, that's something different in the battle for the third place, because Ercoli still on the back bumper of Mark Goossens. Here we have Ryan Vargas in the 11 car, under pressure by Julian Rehberg, who's pulling double duties again in the 77 Brie Motion car. He wants to maximize the track time to have some chances in the Rookie Trophy in EuroNASCAR 2. He joined EuroNASCAR at the beginning of the season in the prologue. He was quite slow, but he found grips in the car quite fast in free practice and in qualifying, and then he dominated the rookie trophy, Julian Rehberg, in EuroNASCAR 2, and he also fighting for a podium in the junior trophy, and we get a 30 seconds penalty for the 33. That's Luca Lasser. I think we can now cross him off the list of title contenders because he will lose a lot of ground here in this race.
Yeah, he'll be just within the top 20 as a best case scenario now, Luca Lasser, which is certainly not the race he'd have wanted, nor the race he needed today. He needed a lot of things to fall in his favour, and realistically they've gone the other way as Julian Rehberg continues to fight Ryan Vargas. Of course, that's for a junior podium as well as 9th overall. So a trophy at stake there. And Ryan Vargas, I think, has very much enjoyed his trophy hunting this season in the EuroNASCAR's junior division, as well as, of course, getting some overall honours at the Raceway Venray earlier in the year. Made an Xfinity appearance over the last couple of weeks as well, so still getting involved in the national divisions of NASCAR over in the United States. And a good top 10 finish here will certainly brighten his spirits even further going into Sunday. Not that they could be much brighter, of course. He proposed to his long-term girlfriend just after Oschersleben as well. Congratulations to them. Here comes Gianmarco Ercoli then. He has been looming behind Mark Goossens for the duration of this race, and even for an old hand like Mark Goossens, who has seen it all, done it twice and talked about it 50 times, he's someone who can handle pretty much anything, but he will still be feeling the pressure, undoubtedly. And also, of course, he will want the overall podium. He absolutely wants to stand on a step with the Belgian flag behind him here at Zolder.
Paul Gifford closed in and he already showed his nose to Girelli. He pulled out of the line. There was one car slow. I couldn't see who it was, but Paul Gifford, he closed the gap on Girelli. And Ercoli, I like how he's seeing the big picture. He's not over aggressively. He's waiting for his opportunity, and that's exactly what he needs to do to have a shot on the title. But now Paul Gifford really close to the back bumper of Vittorio Girelli. In the last 4 laps of this race, we may see a really nice battle for race win. And also this would mean that Gifford, if he can get past Girelli, he would get 10 points on Girelli in the overall standing. So Adam, I think there's something in the air right now between Girelli and Gifford, and also between Goossens and Ercoli.
I can't help but agree with you. It was the middle sector of the previous lap. Girelli lost 1.5 seconds in that middle sector. Didn't see quite what happened to him, but we know he lost a lot of time as a result of it. It looks like the gap might be slightly eking back out now in Girelli's favour. He has to put the foot down now. He can't allow himself to be within even speculative braking range for Paul Gifford. Gifford will take the opportunity because, again, none of the other championship contenders can afford to be 10 or more points back from Girelli today. Well, they can, but they would then have to rely on fortunes going massively against Girelli on Sunday. A win today does so many favours for a championship campaign that's already looking hugely promising for Vittorio Girelli. They're very close. Goossens and Ercoli are still running as a 2-car train, as they have done all race. And a word to Fabrizio Armetta as well. He's now up into the top 5. He's having a great race today. Of course, he was behind Tobias Dauenhauer. He runs in the overall top 5. The Club Motorsport will be very happy with that. And 1.1 seconds now the gap between Girelli and Gifford. I saw a grey race suit there, flinging an arm of support out to Vittorio Girelli. I reckon that's Anthony Kumpen on the pit wall. He's now watching his driver. He's back in team boss mode. And he may also be in fan mode watching this battle between Goossens and Ercoli. Lots to watch, lots going on here. Very interesting race that's developing. Gifford again falling off of Girelli. Gianmarco Ercoli wouldn't dream of being more than a car length behind Mark Goossens in this race, seemingly. He may even have a look here into the chicane. He's not quite close enough. But I don't know if he's going to wait behind Goossens for the rest of this 3.5 laps we have left to go.
Shout out to our Belgium friends in the TV van. They took a look and it was the 88 of Max Lanza slowing down. He already pulled into the pits, so a bad day for Max Lanza in the car racing 88 machine. And we head now into the final phase of this race. When there's a 16 up there, Adam, I'm going to go down to victory lane. You know, I have the honors of welcoming the race winner in victory lane and keep the driver in the car as long as I don't have the camera there. So I'm going to welcome the leader and head over to you right now when Vittorio Ghirelli is crossing the finish line again in first place ahead of Paul Geoffroy. And then we have still Goossens ahead of Ercoli, and Ercoli, he's running out of time right now. So I see you now in victory lane.
Okay, Andre, make your way over, friend. We'll see you there in a few laps' time as Ercoli has a little look to the inside there of Goossens, or more so, Goossens went right to the wall there, trying to slightly shrink the angle of the first corner. Ercoli really pressuring the back of the 72 car in this battle for third position. At the very least, Ercoli could do with getting as many points as possible if he can't finish ahead of Vittorio Ghirelli, which at this point looks like a very long shot. And with the gap now being 1.6 seconds at the front, it looks like Ghirelli is firmly in control. Goossens and Ercoli fighting it out for third place, though. This has been great driving from Mark Goossens, hasn't put a foot wrong. Of course, he has raced all over the world, in all types of race car, be it single-seaters, be it factory GT cars. Many remember him as part of the SRT factory program, the Viper factory program about a decade ago over in the United States. He's had a stellar and decorated racing career. We've got a few drivers in the pits. Max Lanza, Thomas Tuffel, Liam Lambert are all in the pits at the moment. I think Anthony Kumpen is actually back out on the circuit, interestingly. But a few drivers have faltered over the duration of this race, or rather their machines have faltered anyway. And for Liam Lambert, a challenger win looked like it was a possibility earlier in the race, so that will be a disappointment for him. The gap at the front, as we head on to the penultimate lap, it's 2.5 seconds. 3/10 though between these two in the battle for third place. Gianmarco Ercoli's time is running out. We've still got 2 laps to go, so it is lap 17 rather than lap 18 as currently displayed on the tower, to my reckoning, to the timings reckoning as well. Just a couple of laps remaining here at Zolder. It's been a remarkably clean race all told. There was of course an incident on the first lap, but that aside, had a clean run so far. We haven't lacked for interesting situations, particularly at the sharp end of the order, with Gianmarco Ercoli investigating Goossens. Lap 17. We will begin the final lap this time by. And Ghirelli has just one more lap to go, and look at that lead. It was 2.5 at the line last time by. I think that's looking more like 3, if not more. Ghirelli just needs to get the car home now. He will be fine at the front. The gap is 3.5 seconds at the front of the order. Ghirelli has just one more lap between him and a potentially decisive blow. Mathematically speaking, it will not be decisive. He will, however, have the high ground and then some in the championship if he crosses the line in the lead of this race. Goossens, meanwhile, has extended his lead on that previous lap by some margin over Gianmarco Ercoli. He was down in the 38s. He was 7/10 quicker on the previous lap than Gianmarco Ercoli. So I think Ercoli's hopes of a podium are rather dashed at this juncture. Well, that's been going on. Julian Ribberg has made a pass on Ryan Vargas out on the circuit. Vargas is now outside the top 3 in the junior trophy. He's down to 4th position and 10th overall. So 4th position in junior trophy. Might not be able to stand on the podium here in today's race at Zolder then. But Vittorio Garelli very much looks like he will be standing on the podium. The driver of the 24, the Belgian-operated PK Car Sport team, gave him a car that was more than capable of claiming pole position. The sweep of Super Pole awards has gone to Vittorio Garelli this season. The championship lead of Garelli has been growing and growing over the last couple of races, and now it will grow to a point where he can optimistically look into Sunday. He wins the race, he extends his championship lead. Vittorio Garelli with the most critical win of the year so far, ahead of Paul Giuffreau, Mark Goossens, Gianmarco Ercoli in 3rd and 4th place. Then it's Fabrizio Armetta in 5th. Sebastian Bleekemolen should finish in 6th place ahead of Liam Hazeman in 7th position. Here comes the battle for 7th across the line. Dubek finishing in 8th place. Then it'll be Julian Ribberg to round out the junior trophy behind Giuffreau and Hazeman. And Ryan Vargas finishes 11th place. Luca Lasser got past him. However, Lasser, with the very damaged car, of course, has a 30-second penalty, so he will drop back behind Vargas towards the end. Anthony Kumpen there was just going to cross the line a couple of laps off after visiting the pit lane earlier on. Kumpen, I think, maybe was doing some quali runs at the end there. I wonder if that's why the tyre pressures were altered on his car. He won't be on pole, but he will be up there on the first couple of rows on the grid for Sunday, where the grid is determined by the results from this race. But Vittorio Garelli will have massively extended the lead. Per our reckoning, it's going to be a 34-point lead for Garelli over Giuffreau. That is a serious shift in the title race. Giuffreau, of course, now with that 2nd place finish, will move to 2nd in the point standings as well. There's your top 10 confirmed on screen. Garelli, Giuffreau and Goossens, your podium. Gianmarco Ercoli, 4th place and falling to 3rd in the championship as a result. Fabrizio Armetta, 5th. Sebastian Bleekemolen, 6th. Liam Hazeman in 7th. Martin Dubek in P8. Julian Ribberg and Ryan Vargas will ultimately be the top 10. Luca Lasser set to have a 30-second penalty applied to his race. However, Paul Giuffreau, as we get a look at some highlights of the race, that was the first corner. Luca Lasser judged to be at fault for a big old scramble at the first turn, some damage to his car and a couple of others, but everybody thankfully continued rolling, which meant the race could continue unabated. At the front of the order, Vittorio Garelli was firmly in charge of the situation. Getting a look now at Anthony Kumpen getting crossed up there. That's how he dropped down at the end of the first lap, getting massively crossed up. We had some off-roading from Vladimir Osiortis. Don't think we saw this in the live pictures. He had a drama or two in the race, and that really compounded his issues on the first lap as well. He was involved in that Luca Lasser triggered collision at turn 1. Lasser was bearing the wounds of that fight as he tried to battle with Ryan Vargas. But the 24 car, Vittorio Garelli, is victorious, and with a 34-point lead, that does incredible things for his championship. He would need to finish, I think, about 15th position, lower than 15th position, I think, with Giuffreau winning the race in order for the title to not go to him. So he really has put himself in a very strong position going into Sunday here. Garelli is trying to get himself towards victory lane at the moment. The PK Car Sport team get him out of the car. Don't think they're at the victory lane area, if I'm not mistaken, but he's already out of the car and celebrating with the team. Pirelli is chatting away with the team. But he would be expected in victory lane, so he might have to do a Jensen Button at Monaco back in 2009 and run over to victory lane. We've got an Andre V Gold, we've got pom-poms, but we don't have the winning car. Hello, Andre. But there you go. Motorsport, an inherently live discipline of sport, and sometimes things don't go brilliantly. Garelli will soon head over to victory lane, but for now the team working away. Tobias Downhower's car being towed away there, unfortunately. Some spare body work. I'm sure that'll end up on a marshal's mantle. No, don't throw it away. That's cool. That is off of Max Lanzer's car, by the way, so we were right about that. But the real big story here is Vittorio Garelli's extended championship lead. Great cause for optimism. Garelli is now making the long walk down the pit lane towards the victory lane. I think they went to the wrong end of the pit lane is the issue. But Garelli, with that win, has really put himself in a position where Giuffreau, Urkeli really needs something pretty miraculous to happen on Sunday. Hazeman's now is all but out of the championship hunt. You can see the marshals working hard. They've got a busy race day ahead of them in course, including EuroNASCAR 2, which will come up a little bit later on in the day. And that championship battle, of course, with Martin Dubek, who just had a solid run here in EuroNASCAR Pro. Dubek will be looking to do much the same as Vittorio Garelli, consolidate and extend that championship lead, but he's going to have to do so from a little further behind on the grid. He does, however, come in with a slightly larger points lead than Garelli was afforded today. But that swing in the point standings, 34 points, is certainly a very big deal. I think Garelli, as reserved as he often is, I think he can be very satisfied with that race. It seemed to me as if he was in control the entire time. Yes, he would occasionally get closed in on, but just as easily, he would suddenly rebuild that advantage. It looked to me like man and car were on elite form. And indeed, he was the only driver in the race in the 37s. So setting times good enough for pole position within the race. Always the mark of a driver and car in unison. Vittorio Garelli, I think, will soon be arriving to the victory lane, and it looks like his car will eventually join them, but we'll have to wait and see. There's the 24 car. Looks like it's going towards the garage. So, unfortunately, I don't think the 24 car is going to be a presence in victory lane. but Vittorio Girelli certainly will be. Girelli should be there soon because he was walking the pit lane a couple of minutes ago. And I'm sure the fans will be disappointed that they don't get to see the car roll up, but they'll get to see the winner celebrate in style. It has been a very intriguing day at the circuit Zolder. While Girelli didn't often look impeachable in that race, Paul Dufresne definitely gave it his best shot, but I think to an extent Girelli was managing that race. Maybe there are a couple of occasions, for example, when we saw him lose 1.5 seconds on the road. I think that was more an indicator that perhaps something had gone amiss, but in general, Girelli seemed to be just managing that race. He has now managed to get himself into victory lane on foot. Andre, you're with him. Let's go. We're with you, Andre. Go for it. We're with you, man.
All right, thank you so much. I needed to check something because the car is not here, because the steward sent you straight to the pit box. We don't forget about that. We're celebrating a race win, another race win for Vittorio Girelli. You have everything in your hands right now tomorrow.
Yeah, it was a very nice race. I was on a very good pace. There was a lapped car that just blocked me. My rival team, same team, is not so fair. But yeah, we managed to retake the gap. We were very fast, and I think I got the pole for tomorrow also.
I have to check, but I think so, yes.
Yeah, fantastic season so far. Let's finish the job tomorrow.
All right, normally I would now give you the winner sticker to place it on the car, but you have to do that later. Find somebody maybe with a phone to film it for us, okay?
Yeah, we'll find someone to make the movie.
All right, thank you so much. Your EuroNASCAR Pro Race winner, Vittorio Girelli.
And indeed, your pole sitter for tomorrow, Vittorio Girelli, as well. So Girelli on top form. And he's several steps closer to the championship. Anything can happen on Sunday. Anything can happen in EuroNASCAR, as people will often go to great pains to tell you in the paddock. However, it's going to be a big move for Girelli. Let's go back down there with Andre.
I'm here with Paul Dufresne. Almost. It seemed like in the beginning of the race you were quite faster than Vittorio, then you opened the gap, then you closed it again. It was a tight battle, right?
Yeah, we were all fighting with the brakes. It's a track that is not to really hit the brakes, and I lost the brake, I think, at lap 3 or 4, and then I gained back. I saw him losing them, and he was faster than me. He was really faster than me, and then yeah, when I saw that, I wanted to preserve my tire. So the last lap I was giving a bit slower, and yeah, but they've made a good race, and yeah, we have to fight tomorrow.
Everything is still open, everything can happen, so good luck tomorrow. Thank you so much, Paul Dufresne. I try to get the next one right now. Anthony, can you come here, please? What happened to you in the race?
There was the number 3 that pushed me off, and the rear axle was bent. So yeah, he's a bit hot. I already saw in the previous races, and yeah, this is not fair racing. But yeah, he throws his own championship away because he will get a penalty now.
All right, what about Girelli's performance? You saw it for a couple of laps, how he pulled away from the rest of the field. You must be very happy as a team manager, right?
Yeah, he did a fantastic race. You know, it's always a lot of pressure when you come into the championship as the leader and then doing this job. He did an amazing job. So for me, he deserves a championship. He did a fantastic season. So let's see tomorrow, but he's on the right way.
All right, thank you so much. See you maybe later. Back to you, Adam.
Yeah, Anthony Kumpen making his point known there in regard to Paul Dufresne in the number 3. He ultimately finished 19th in that race, but he will with his time in the race, his best lap of 1:38.2. He'll still be in there in the first few rows of the grid on Sunday to maybe try and claim a win on home turf. But Kumpen glowing in regards to his driver, Vittorio Garelli, as he should be. Garelli's season so far has been stellar. There's only one more race and indeed one more achievement left to tick off for him this season. You see Anthony Kumpen having a discussion at the moment with Paul Giffreau. And certainly it looks like a tense conversation. And some of the other team members from RDV making their feelings known as well. So there's some tensions in that one. I did hear a instruction from our director. I didn't fully grab what it was, but the podiums will be beginning in the next few moments for sure. And an elevated podium here, so they'll get to stand tall and really celebrate in style here at the circuit Zolder. Of course, such a great history here in EuroNASCAR specifically, but of course in the wider motorsport world as well. It does sound like we are already welcoming onto the podium Mark Goossens. Third position for him. Really good effort to defend against Gianmarco Ercoli. Just did everything right, didn't crack under the pressure. Paul Giffreau, second position. And Vittorio Garelli on the top step. Tensions certainly high between the PK Car Sport and RDV competition camps. But now, the Italian anthem for Garelli. So then the podium presentations begin. And the third place trophy from Mark Goossens will be presented by Nancy van Steenkist. Mark Goossens standing on the podium once again at Zolder. Second position, Elke van der Bury presenting the trophy to Paul Giffreau. Grit Geldof hands the biggest trophy of all to today's race winner, Vittorio Garelli, who certainly has had a day befitting a champion. He can't get to call himself one in EuroNASCAR Pro until the conclusion of tomorrow's racing. He's taken a big step forward. We can now celebrate at the conclusion of the race. Pirelli stern-faced as ever, but he knows that he has done his job as well as he possibly could. Everything has been going right for him on Saturday, and now he can even afford a suboptimal day on Sunday and still walk away as the champion. For Mark Goossens, it is a great thrill, I'm sure, to be on the podium. Giuffre did well to duck that shot from Girelli. Next up will be the Junior Trophy podium. Julian Reberg, of course, will be the third step of that podium. Liam Hazeman second, and Paul Giuffre back on the podium again to celebrate that one. Of course, the under-25s classification, the Junior Trophy. And Giuffre and Hazemans are still very close together in those standings as well, separated by about 14 points by the looks of it. So Hazemans is going to need a better day on Sunday for sure. Girelli making after a very big race. But here is our podium. Liam Hazemans and Julian Reberg already on their respective steps. Paul Giuffre climbing to the top in Junior Trophy. Liam Hazemans debriefing at the conclusion of a very, very interesting race. The third place trophy set to be presented by Brecht Girodin. Liam Hazemans will have Wim Stoyer presenting the second place trophy. From Whelen's VIPs, and Matthias de Greek presents the winning trophy to Paul Giuffre. And the youngsters, two of which, of course, are front runners in this series. Julian Reberg, who I think in the next year or two is certainly going to be one of those drivers fighting at the front. A very promising trio, that is. That top three. Challenger Trophy will be next. It'll be Liam Lambert who claims the third spot. There's Liam Lambert makes his way up. Dario Casso with a second place finish. Great result for him. And Kenko Miura to the top step. Team Japan needs 24 car. A very good effort, of course. He's raced stock cars in the United States as well. Really loves this genre of motorsport. And it's always great to see him back in the paddock. We hope to see him for a full season campaign again before too long, but I know he's a very busy man on and off track. Dario Casso receiving the second place trophy. Hans Vanishut presented the third place trophy. Boris Huber presenting the second place, and Christoph Ugle presenting to Kenko Miura, our Challenger Trophy winner. That's our final podium for this race. But in less than 90 minutes' time, we are going to be back live here at the Circuit Zolder with the all-important EuroNASCAR 2 race. In much the same way, Martin Dubek could bring the title pretty much to his door, but equally he could take a step backwards if his rivals succeed. It's going to be a compelling day of racing for the EuroNASCAR 2 category. Make sure you join us for that at the 4:30 Central European time, as you see on screen. And also make sure you join us on Sunday as well to see the conclusion of both championships. It's just getting started here at Zolder this weekend, the American Festival here at Zolder. Make sure you join us. Thank you for watching this race. There's more fireworks to come here on Saturday.
Weekend 2005 en